Alright, welcome to Chef's Sake. I'm your host, Michael Zavaris. Today is Sunday, September 17th, 2023. I will be giving you my Week 2 NFL predictions as well as my Week 1 recap. So let's get right into it. So Week 1 was, a week where we find out which team is what, but it's also the week where everybody overreacts. And this week I ended up going, I believe, 12-4. We look over here, some games that shocked a lot of people. The Browns beat the Bengals 24-3. This was Joe Burrow's first game as the highest paid player in NFL history. He ended up going 14 for 31 passing for 82 yards, which not good at all. And they lost by 21 points. They could only put up a field goal. The Buccaneers beat the Vikings, and everyone made a big deal, especially on Thursday Night Football this past Thursday. Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime was making a big deal about, how the Vikings were the best, had the best record in the league in one-possession games. They're currently 0-2 this year, losing to the Buccaneers and losing to us. So Baker Mayfield looked pretty good. He completed 62% of his passes for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Vikings aren't looking too good right now. I believe they lead the league in turnovers. I mean, obviously, the rest of the games are today, but they've been turning the ball over non-stop. They turned the ball over, I believe, 4 times against us. And if I look here, they turned the ball over 3 times against the Buccaneers last week. So they're prone to turning the ball over, hence their 0-2 record. Some other games. The Saints and Titans game is just what I expected it to be, the battle of mid. It was a 16-15 score. Ryan Tannehill is dog shit. Derek Carr is meh. It was just a shitty game all around. Derek Carr completed 70% of his passes, which is pretty good, for 305 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Chris Olave had 8 catches for 112 yards. And you have Ryan Tannehill completed 47% of his passes for not even 200 yards and 3 picks. Like I said, battle of the mid. The Niners absolutely steamrolled the Steelers. I don't know why they're only a point and a half point favorites. Made no sense to me. I have no idea why now. I think Pittsburgh is going to be a different team this year, but it's the 49ers. The 49ers are, you could make an argument as the best team in the NFC. I personally think it's only between us, the Eagles, the Niners, and the Cowboys. That's it. I'm not really scared of any other team in the NFC. So, I don't know why they weren't even 2-point favorites against the Steelers. I thought that was obnoxious. It's flabbergasting, if you will. So they steamrolled them 30-7. Brock Purdy, I think, is the only player, from what I heard from somebody, that he's thrown 2 touchdowns in every single game of his career, with the exception of the Eagles game, the NFC Championship game, before Kyle Shanahan put a backup tight end on Hassan Reddick, resulting into a strip sack, destroying Brock Purdy's elbow. Christian McCaffrey had 152 rushing yards on 22 carries and a touchdown. He also had 3 catches for 17 yards. So, he looked really good. I mean, Brock Purdy fumbled the ball twice, only lost it once. But Purdy looked pretty good. Their defense looked fantastic as well. They had 2 sacks and 2 picks, and they had 4 passes deflected. So the Niners have not skipped a beat. Then you have the Cardinals and Commanders. I thought this was going to be a battle of the mid, but it turned out to be the Titans and Saints game, which was boring as shit. Oh my God. Sam Howell. Once he improves, he will be a great quarterback. I know you can say that with everyone, but I like what I'm seeing from Sam Howell. But other than that, this game was meh. I mean, I had the Commanders winning, but I don't know. Then you have the Packers and Bears. Jordan Love is just another quarterback destroying the Bears. So, I saw this meme on Instagram, and it's perfect. There's like, oh, the Bears like, oh, you saved us. And Jordan Love's like, I wouldn't say saved, more like under new management. Which is not wrong. 245 yards and 3 touchdown passes, no turnovers. Yeah, did not skip a beat. Aaron Jones had 9 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown, as well as 2 catches, 86 yards and a touchdown. Justin Fields, I mean, he's throwing the ball a lot more. I don't think I've seen him throw the ball over 30 times. Now, don't quote me on that, but it is good to see him throw the ball 37 times. I would love to see Justin Fields develop as a passer like Jalen Hurts did, and it would be amazing if he did that, because I think he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league if he can do that. 17 touchdowns, 11 picks last year. That was 60% passing, meh. Kind of similar to what Hurts had last year, except Hurts had more passing yards in the same amount of games played. But Fields did have 1,100 yards on the ground. So, there's that. Yeah, every other... Oh my God. The Cowboys game. Yeah. That is what you call domination. That is textbook domination. There's another word I want to use, but if I want a job, if I want to have a future in this subject in this area, I shall not use that word. But Vicente will know what I want to say, but I cannot say it on this channel. So, yeah, Dak had 143 passing yards, completed 54% of his passes. So look, people are going to say, oh, he got carried. It doesn't matter. He was a game manager this game. Who cares? 40-0. That game was all defense. Defense absolutely dominated. Tony Pollard did have 70 yards on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns. He also had 2 catches for 12 yards. What's his name? Kevontae Turpin had a touchdown on the ground. And we go to defense. Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. He played like shit. He had a QBR of 32. Isaiah Hodgins fumbled the ball. Blocked kick. Returned for 6. It was terrible. Terrible. They just got absolutely gobsmacked. 18 first downs. Better on 3rd down. More total yards. They had 265 total yards, which doesn't matter because their defense just absolutely destroyed. 7 sacks, 3 turnovers. Unbelievable. That's a damn good defense. Then we go to the Jets and Bills game, and oh my God. I watched the whole pre-game stuff, you know, with Rodgers taking the field with the American flag like an absolute gangster. 4 or 5 plays into his first drive, he tears his Achilles. And now the NFL Player Association wants there to be no more turf fields, which I completely agree. I can pull up the stats real quick, but there are statistics in terms of turf fields. Let me pull that up for you. Here we go. NFL players have a 28% higher rate of non-contact lower body injuries when playing on artificial turf. Of those non-contact injuries, players have a 32% higher rate of non-contact knee injuries and a 69% higher rate of non-contact foot and ankle injuries on turf compared to grass. Yeah, as soon as I saw Rodgers, as soon as I saw the replay of Rodgers' leg, I knew that he was going to be out for a while because the way his calf looked, like his Achilles, it looked just like Kevin Durant in the finals 5 years ago. And that's when he missed the entire 2020-2021 season because of his injury to his Achilles. Now, apparently, Rodgers does have a chance to come back around playoff time in January, which would be something. And I was saying it to him, like, it would be awesome if he came back. I mean, Cam Akers came back after rupturing his Achilles, like, within 5 months. And I think Brandon Brooks did that, if I'm not mistaken. I know he ruptured his Achilles, but he came back, like, later on in the year, which was amazing. But here's the thing. Cam Akers is still in his 20s. Rodgers is in his 40s. But they did say he does have a really good chance. But I hope he comes back the same player, because I know he doesn't play running back, but Cam Akers, ever since his Achilles injury, he just could not find his burst anymore. Like, week 1, I drafted him. Week 1, he had 22 carries for 27 yards. I hope he can get back to his former self, but I hope Rodgers does too. I mean, he's a quarterback, but I don't know how mobile he's going to be anymore, especially with that injury at that age. I'm rooting for him, so I hope he can come back, because me as well as everyone else in the league were hoping to see him play. We wanted to see how it panned out, because you saw my predictions. I had him going to the Super Bowl. That ass. Like, I don't know, but we'll see how they do under Zach Wilson. I mean, they did win the game, and talk about that Hard Knocks legend Gibson returning it for a walk-off punt return for a touchdown. I was so happy because that won me my fantasy week last week. But Zach Wilson didn't look good at first, but once everything started to click and he was firing on all cylinders, the ground game was working. Breece Hall did not miss a step at all. He had, 10 or 11 carries for 127 yards. He did not miss a beat at all. So, I'm looking forward to seeing the Jets play this year, even though they don't have Rodgers for quite some time. I'm excited to see how Zach Wilson does this year, since he was learning from Rodgers. I was watching Hard Knocks, and Rodgers has been nothing but a mentor to Zach Wilson, and I can't wait to see how Wilson does this year. So, there's that. I picked 4 or 5 wrong games, and I know some of them were. I think I did pick the Chargers to beat the Dolphins, but that was a hell of a game. I had the Seahawks beating the Rams, and what else? I did have the Vikings beating the Buccaneers, and of course, the Bengals beating the Browns. So those, at the top of my head, those are the ones I picked wrong. So now on to week 2. I already gave you my Eagle rant pick, since Eagles played on Thursday Night Football. I had the Eagles winning. I thought it was going to be a 28-21 kind of game, but ended up being 34-28. Regardless, we won the game, and I'll talk about that next Eagles rant video. Now we're on to the rest of the week. Games coming up today. We have the Packers and Falcons. The Falcons are 2.5-point favorites. Wow. Why are they 2.5-point favorites? The over-under is 40 points, so they're not expecting a high-scoring game. Really, the Falcons? Huh. Well, oh yeah, that's right. Aaron Jones and Christian Watson aren't playing. That's right. Yeah, give me the Falcons this game. I like how Algier and Bijan Robinson are looking. Desmond Ridder needs to throw the ball. He needs to throw the ball more. There's no way you can. And it's so weird seeing you have 15 completions for only 115 yards. And Kyle Pitts, your best weapon, only has 2 receptions. That's terrible. Terrible. And plus, I'm a Kyle Pitts fantasy owner. And no, I didn't draft him. I actually traded for him because I was really liking his upside. I wanted to take the gamble. I wanted to take the risk on him potentially popping off. But for insurance purposes, for the matchup this week, I picked up David Njoku because Amari Cooper is questionable for tomorrow's game against Pittsburgh. Anyway, I'm going to pick Atlanta here. They, like I said, they're 2.5-point favorites. So, yeah, I'll pick the Falcons here. Next, we have the Raiders and Bills. Bills are 7.5-point favorites. Give me the Bills. I'm starting James Cook this week over Amari Cooper, mostly because Cooper is questionable. But at the same time, I just like since the Bills are favored by so much, they're going to be running the ball a lot. So I feel like I'm going to get more points from James Cook in that situation. So give me the Bills here. The Raiders are the same Raiders. Next, we have the Ravens and Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point favorites. Give me the Bengals here. I see them having a bounce-back game after only putting up a whopping 3 points last week. The Ravens are a good team, too. I think it's going to be like a 27-24 kind of game, so give me the Bengals here. Like I said, I think they're going to go for a bounce-back. Seahawks and Lions. That was a classic last year. But give me the Lions. The Lions look like a different team this year. I know that they played against the Chiefs without Kelsey and Chris Jones, but the Lions just look like a different football team this year. They are 4.5-point favorites. I'm going to have to take... I would take the Seahawks plus 4.5. But I'm going to pick the Lions to win. I think it's going to be like a 24-20 kind of game. So, I'll do that. 24-20 Lions. I need water. My goodness. Next, we have the Chargers and Titans. Both 0-1. Austin Eckler will be out with, I forget what injury it is. Ankle injury. He will be out, and Joshua Kelly will be starting. I should have picked him up in fantasy. I don't know why I didn't, but I did pick up Roschon Johnson, who I think is going to take the starting job next week. By next week, I don't see Khalil Herbert doing much. But Joshua Kelly had the same amount of carries as Austin Eckler, so they should be fine. And it seems like every backup running back on the Chargers does really well. You know, when Melvin Gordon was out, Austin Eckler came in. Eckler was a beast, and now Joshua Kelly, he's good too. So I think they'll be fine. But I'm taking the Chargers here. Chargers are what, 2.5-point favorites? I think they're going to win by like 7. But yeah, give me the Chargers over the Titans. I think the Titans are going to be abysmal this year. Next, we have the Bears and Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are favored by 2.5 points. I like that. I'll take the Bucs over here. Next, we have the Chiefs and Jaguars. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Chris Jones and Travis Kelce are back. I really want to pick the Jags here. I love how the Jags look this year. But I think the Chiefs are going to win this. And remember when I said that this year's Jags remind me of the 2017 Eagles? Both teams played the Chiefs week 2, and the Eagles lost to the Chiefs week 2. And I think the Jags are going to lose to the Chiefs week 2. And who did the Jags play next week? If they play like against someone in the division next week, that'd be funny, because we play against the Giants next week. And look at that, they play Houston, a division rival, in week 3. Watch that be a 27-24 game-winning field goal from their kicker, and that is, who the hell is it? Brandon McManus, Broncos kicker. That'd be funny. So give me the Chiefs here. That, like I said, that'd be hilarious. They are giving me 2017 Eagle vibes. They are a dark horse for the Super Bowl, I think, this year. I'm really high on them. If I'm going to watch the game, I'm going to be watching Red Zone, but I'll be focusing on the Jags game the most. Next, we have the Colts and Texans. Eesh. 39.5 points. Oh my god. Actually, who's hurt on the Colts? Someone's hurt on the Colts. I really want to pick the Colts, but I don't know who's on the injury report. Right now, the Texans are favored by a point. Give me the Colts. I like Richardson. I like Anthony Richardson. I feel like he's going to do whatever it takes to win the game. Next, we have the Niners and Rams. Deebo Samuel has been sunning the Rams for the past couple years now. Niners are 7.5 point favorites. Give me the Niners. Sean McVay cannot beat Kyle Shanahan whatsoever, and I don't see it happening. Plus, that receiver Puka is not. He's questionable. I don't know if he's playing or not, but the Niners are just a juggernaut team. I don't see the Rams winning this at all. Next, we have the Giants and Cardinals. Give me the Giants. They're -4. I'll take those points. 39.5 points over under. Yeah, they don't expect a high scoring game. Same thing with the Jets and Cowboys. That's 38.5. What is up with these low scoring games today? Jets, Cowboys. Cowboys are 8.5 point favorites. They do have a great defense, but they have a great defense, and Zach Wilson's a quarterback. I'm feeling pretty good about how Zach Wilson's going to play, but I am going to pick the Cowboys here. But these are two of the best defenses in the league, so I love defense. I've always been offensive minded, but I love defense. So this will be a fun game to watch. But I have to take the Cowboys here. Next, we have Washington at Denver. This is another 38.5 over under. Like, I don't get this at all. So Washington and Denver. I'm gonna take the Broncos here. I didn't even watch the highlights. I can't tell you how the Broncos did, but the Commanders were neck and neck with the Cardinals this whole time. How do you think I'm going to feel about them playing against the Broncos? Russell Wilson did look good. I mean, he only had 177 passing yards, but he completed 79% of his passes and had 2 touchdowns. And keep in mind, he didn't have Jerry Jeudy or Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick's out for the year, but he only had Cortland Sutton like Samaje Perine. So I think they'll be fine. I'll take Denver here. Next, we have the Dolphins and Patriots. I'll take the Dolphins here. They're 2.5 point favorites. And yeah, I like that. I'll take the Dolphins. Next, we have the Saints and Panthers. Saints are 3 point favorites. I'm probably going to have to pick the Saints here. I mean, my gut is telling me the Panthers, but I have to pick the Saints. And then we have the Browns and Steelers. I am going to take the Steelers here. If Amari Cooper doesn't play, I'm taking the Steelers. Even if he plays, I don't think he's going to be 100%. It's a groin injury, I think. So, I'm not feeling too confident about that. Give me my upset of the week. Give me the Steelers here. And, yeah. Those are my Week 2 predictions. I will talk to y'all next Friday. Go Birds, baby.